Coming up on Channel 8 News, a tiny house with a big impact on your local community.
And K-State Open House took place this weekend. Were you at the McCain Petting Zoo?
And later, we meet a person who some claim to be Manhattan's most interesting man. All that and more coming up on Channel 8 News.
It's a beautiful day here in north central Kansas, but we've got some storms rolling in this evening, so you won't want to miss my 5-day forecast. That's coming up on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Gretchen Kanan.
And I'm Andrew Shores. The Kansas Board of Regents has announced the appointment of General Richard B. Myers as interim president at Kansas State University. The retired Air Force general became chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under President George W. Bush. He served as the principal military advisor to the president and the National Security Council. Myers was born and raised in Merriam, Kansas, and graduated from K-State in 1965. The interim president is set to be introduced by the Kansas Board of Regents Wednesday morning at 8:15 in Forum Hall.
The Flint Hills Discovery Center Foundation hosted a special event at the Discovery Center last Saturday evening. Former U.S. Senator Nancy Kassebaum Baker was honored as this year's Friend of the Flint Hills. She is credited with playing a key role in the creation of the Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve in Chase County. This is the 5th year the foundation has presented this award. All previous recipients were in attendance, including Jim and Kathy Hoy, who received the recognition last year.
Everyone knows April showers bring May flowers. But did you know April also marks Distracted Driving Awareness Month? For one Manhattan resident, distracted driving nearly led to his death.
Don't text and drive. But in a world where cell phones control our daily lives, the message loses its meaning. It's not a suggestion. In seconds, distracted driving can change someone's life. Manhattan resident George Hanna felt these effects after a 2011 motorcycle accident left him in critical condition.
I like to use the analogy of bubble wrap. It felt like I was on bubble wrap because every time they would roll me over to check my back or get me into this air splint thing, I was crunchy.
Hanna was eastbound on Bluemont Avenue near the intersection at Juliet. A red Dodge Charger failed to yield to oncoming traffic. The driver turned onto Juliet, striking Hanna on his motorcycle. It was later determined the driver of the Charger had been on his cell phone. The accident has changed even the simplest aspects of Hanna's life.
You don't realize how debilitating an injury like that can really be until you do simple things like getting in and out of a car, stairs, ramps.
After going through this experience, when you see someone who's out driving around and they have their phones up or they're talking on their phone, how does that affect you?
I absolutely lose it. I will, in a heartbeat, I will write down a license plate number, description, and I will, call the police or see if I see somebody, I'll flag them down.
It only takes a split second for you or someone else's life to change due to an automobile accident. Stay focused on the road. Your phone can wait. For Channel 8 News, I'm Liz Heath.
Thanks, Liz. That story definitely makes me think twice before I pull out my cell phone while driving.
That's right, Andrew. Waiting a little more time to reply to a text is always better than the alternative.
The Manhattan Regional Airport unveiled a new logo last Tuesday. Airport officials say it's more reflective of the surrounding community and the advantages of flying local.
Well, there's been a lot of new changes at Manhattan Regional Airport over the last few years, especially what we're standing in right now is a new terminal. And so with the new terminal, there's new architecture. It's supposed to be reflective of the Flint Hills. And we wanted to make sure that our logo and all of our branding and everything represented that regional aspect as well.
Are you planning to get rid of that couch when you move out next month? The City of Manhattan is hosting Spring Furniture Amnesty Day. The event allows residents to get rid of unwanted furniture and browse items that others have donated. The event runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on May 6th at City Park. More info can be found at cityofmhk.com.
Some K-State students are pulling out their power tools and putting on hard hats. What they're constructing might surprise you. Catherine Curtis joins them to find out more.
While most K-State students are sleeping in on a Saturday morning, the interior architecture and product design students are working on a special project with Habitat for Humanity. Let's check out what they're building.
Last term I taught studio, and one of the projects we did was a tiny house project to teach them about interior architecture, intimate spaces, the notion of home and housing, and then also wood frame construction. The students wanted to go further, and coupling up with Habitat for Humanity, who wanted to try something new, we sort of launched this like last November. We got the idea to actually build one.
It's Habitat for Humanity's first ever tiny home that they've built. A tiny home is any house that's under 500 square feet, and our tiny home happens to be under 200 square feet and on wheels, which not all of them are, but ours is.
For something so small, it has taken a large amount of preparation from the students.
So it's about a 16-week long project from the very beginning of the design to the very end result.
I mean, the volunteer hours are tremendous. Hundreds, if not thousands of hours, all told. The students are designing all the interior furnishings. They're going to be fabricating those pieces, as well as fabricating the whole shell.
For the students, the house has been more than just hammering in a few nails.
Our professor Chris, he always says, measure twice, cut once. So it's a lot of just measuring, getting things perfect, and then making our cuts, and then just piecing it all together.
But this is a full-scale prototype, so we're actually experimenting and learning and understanding hands-on, a little trial and error, and I think this is empowering many, if not all, the students in a completely new way.
Eventually, Habitat for Humanity will sell this tiny house. For Channel 8 News, this is Catherine Curtis.
There's a growing movement for tiny homes, and in addition to them being innovative, designers also make them well equipped. I guess good things do come in small packages.
A colorful parade flooded Poyntz Avenue last weekend. What brought this vibrant group to Manhattan? Find out next.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community. Progress. You.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Việt Nam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. K-State's College of Engineering hosted an open house last Friday, putting a new and improved facility into the spotlight for all to see.
K-State's College of Engineering kick-started open house with Engineering Day on Friday, April 15th. All the departments of the college had the opportunity to showcase what they have been up to this year.
So today we have the opening ceremonies and start of Engineering Open House. This morning we had Engineering Day. We had about 450 people here to learn about engineering. Those were freshmen, sophomores, and juniors throughout the state of Kansas who came here. And then Engineering Open House is an opportunity for all of our student design teams, student organizations, and all of our departments to show off what they've done throughout the whole year.
We're just trying to tell the community more about engineering and to encourage students considering coming to K-State that they should pursue an engineering career, that it's a great field to be involved in, and there's so many opportunities with it. So we just share all of the varied opportunities through displays, through all of our departments, and pretty much just educate the community about engineering.
This was also the first open house for the college to display their newly renovated building.
In the past, we've had limited space, so we've been able to bring all of our degree programs to one space and one building. You should have seen the looks on some of the students' eyes this morning when they came in, and just when they walk in and see all this brand new glass and shiny metal. But it allows our students to have new collaborative learning space. We have over 30 new labs. It's about 108,000 square foot. That's equivalent to about 2 football fields worth of new classroom and cutting-edge learning environments for our students here in the college. So we'll be able to show that off and to have all of our university guests here and have all of our students talk about all the great things they've been able to do. Just an awesome feeling to be a part of.
The engineering building sure is something to marvel about. It's great that the department was able to showcase it to all the visitors.
The engineering students weren't the only big spectacle in the community this past weekend. I spent Saturday in downtown Manhattan with participants of the LGBT Pride Festival. LGBT allies gathered together on Saturday afternoon for the 7th annual Little Apple Pride Festival. The event was launched in 2010 so the community and allies could show support and pride. This was Sean Galusha's second year involved with the Pride Festival, and besides forming friendships, he says it's a good way to send a message to the world.
It's great to support us. We're just human beings, and we're just like everyone else, and let's all have equality.
The festival started at 2 p.m. with a parade down Poyntz Avenue through Aggieville and into City Park. Entertainment for the rest of the afternoon included a drag show and a live DJ.
There was no mess to pick up from the animals at the McCain Petting Zoo during this year's K-State Open House, but you could pick up an instrument or two. Our own Callie Ogborn has the scoop.
What's that sound? That's the sound of the McCain Instrument Petting Zoo at K-State's All-University Open House. Members from the Cat Band took to the street this weekend to excite prospective students with several rousing renditions of the Wabash and the KSU fight song. K-State's instrumental music program put on the petting zoo to encourage patrons to pick up an instrument they've never played before.
I think it creates an opportunity for young kids to get to know the instruments before they have the opportunity to play them. I know when I was little, I didn't have this, and it would have been really helpful to at least get to see them before we were thrown into it, and I think it gives a good way to get to know our program also.
Open House is designed to give prospective students a look into student life and all the interesting opportunities there are here at K-State. The music program decided to do something more interactive to give participants a better look at instrumental music life.
I didn't know if I was going to do it when I enrolled to go here, and then I decided to, and it was the best decision I've made.
Individualism within a community is something K-State's student body strives for, so the petting zoo was a unique way to get people involved while allowing them to express themselves.
As for me, I've always kind of beat to my own drum. For Channel 8 News at K-State Open House, I'm Callie Ogborn.
Andrew, do you play any instruments? You look like you'd be a great kazoo player.
Well, Gretchen, I like to spend hours practicing my air guitar.
That's awesome. A community member is leaving a stamp on the city of Manhattan. Find out more about his impressive collections when we come back.
And we still have a look at your local weather. All that and more next.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition. Passion. You.
Hi, I'm Tunde from Lagos, Nigeria.
And I'm Ronnie from Spring Hill, Kansas.
During festivals, I wear my kaftan.
On K-State game days, I wear purple and a foam finger.
I've never been to an American football game.
I've never been out of this country. You want to go tailgating this weekend?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
would you happen to have a purple kaftan? Only for game days.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Manhattan and the Riley County area might normally seem quiet and reserved, but there are a few community members putting Manhattan on the map for the whole world to see.
Tim's a great guy. Every time I go out to school or to class, he's out there in the front gardening. I'll give him a little wave. He'll go, "Hey, how's it going?" and give one back.
He does love his yard work. He got first place in the annual gardening champion.
Tim Lindmuth is a very involved and well-known member of the Manhattan community. Outside, his well-kept garden stands out amongst his fraternity neighbors, but on the inside, he has a different collection that marks his worldly travels.
Tim traveled all over the country, all over the world for some stamps. He has a huge booklet of stamps. I think he has one from every country.
Hobbies don't get in the way of his involvement. Tim also serves as a Lambda Chi and Phi Kappa Phi advisor, has cycled across the country for charity, served in the Marines, and has unique characteristics that make him stand out in MHK.
I think Tim would be Manhattan's most interesting man.
Tim is a stamp collector, gardener champion, weightlifter, teacher, and most important, brother.
We are lucky enough to get the man keeping busy in MHK here in studio with our own Jace Mills. Jace?
Thanks, Gretchen. I'm joined today by Tim Lindmuth. He is a busy guy. He's retired from K-State, but you wouldn't know it. Tim, you've got a competition coming up where you're representing the USA. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Next month, I'll be going to New York City for 10 days to represent the U.S. at the World Stamp Show, and it's a once-a-decade competition that draws collectors from all over the globe. I'll be one of about 100 people from the United States. It's an amazing event. Once every 10 years, you get to show off your collection to the whole world. It's really special to be selected.
That's great. That's great to have someone from Manhattan be able to represent us.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about your collection and how you got started. It's kind of a interesting thing to compete with.
Right. Well, I collect one stamp, but I collect everything there is with this one stamp from issued in 1981, and I first exhibited it in 1982, and took it to actually my first international in San Francisco in 1997. I did okay, not as good as I wanted to, but I did win my first international gold in Washington, D.C. in 2006. And now I've been selected again to go back to international, as I said, next month. So.
Give me an idea of how a stamp competition works. I mean, explain to the viewers what that process looks like.
Sure. What you display basically is a collection of one topic, or in my particular case, traditional is one stamp, and people are judged against each other, their different entries. It's very much like a book. It's 5 chapters long, and you show everything there is about this stamp, the different formats, the errors, the usages on mail, and then you just compare it against others and how well you tell your story.
Well, thanks, Tim, and good luck representing the USA. We appreciate that.
Thank
Back
you.
to you at the desk.
Thanks so much, Jace and Tim, for joining us today.
It looks like a perfect day to be outside, but it's time now to take a look at our local and national weather with Channel 8's weatherman James Copeland. James?
Thanks, Gretchen. Yeah, we've got a very beautiful day outside. It's partly cloudy and really a gorgeous day to be out. A little bit cool, but not too bad. But let's go ahead and take a look at our national temperatures right now. Up in New York, we got 72 degrees. Pretty nice day up there. Chicago is coming in at 60. Not too bad. We also have 81 in the south here in Atlanta. And Dallas is at 77. And also on the west coast, Los Angeles with 84, and Seattle up there with 82. And we'll take a look now at our current conditions right now. What I want you to notice, we've already had this cold front pass through Kansas, and so we're looking at some storms developing here, coming off the Rockies and over on coming into Kansas later this evening, and we'll talk about that more in the 5-day forecast. But for the rest of the country, sunny actually up in Seattle, which is pretty nice, and of course in California. And then we also have some thunderstorms down in Texas, just ahead of that cold front, and then rainy up in the Great Lakes region over in Minnesota. And then over on the East Coast, we have a warm front pushing north, and that's bringing some rain up to the Illinois region. And then over in the Northeast, partly cloudy skies, and then sunny down south. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at your Kansas map. Over here in Kansas City, 69 degrees. Here in Manhattan, it's 71. Down in Wichita, 69. And 60 in Hayes, 61 in Dodge City. So I'm talking about a little bit about what we can expect this evening. Going into the overnight hours, we'll have that storm pushing from the west over here into northeast Kansas, and you can expect that rain to be coming around the 11 to 12 o'clock, and then past midnight is when that'll be coming. So let's go ahead and go to our 5-day forecast. That storm's moving in tonight, but then we'll have 66 on Wednesday, 72 on Thursday, and then we're going to continue a warming trend up until Friday and Saturday. Then when we get to the weekend, it's going to be a really great weekend with 80 degrees. So we'll go ahead and send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, James. It's a big week coming up for K-State Athletics. We'll have your sports preview next.
I'm Kathleen from Meiningen, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Kenya, Africa. A baby elephant is trapped in a water hole. Researchers rush to the rescue, and a 400-pound baby elephant and its agitated, dangerous mother are finally reunited. One of those researchers is K-State alumnus Mark Sowers. While at K-State, he used telemetry to study bison on the Konza Prairie Biological Station, a skill he now uses to study and help elephants, his lifelong dream. That's the Wildcat Way.
I am an artist.
I'm an explorer.
A parent.
Working full-time.
I am the future.
I'm finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified.
I'm a student.
I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's Global Campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's Global Campus.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. A lot has happened this past week, and more is still to come for the local sports world. Channel 8 reporter Callie Ogborn is here to give you your Channel 8 News sports update. Callie?
Thanks, Andrew. First up in sports, we've had her on our show before, but we still need to talk about Akila Jones. She is a machine. Last week at the Mount San Antonio College Relays, the K-State senior fell just short of breaking the collegiate heptathlon record and tied for the best score in the world this year, scoring 6,307 points. Jones was less than 50 points away from also setting the best ever regular season score. We'll keep tabs on Jones's progress as the season continues. The Batcats were also out of town this weekend and were very busy battling West Virginia. The first games went pretty well for the Cats, winning 8-6 in the Friday game and dominating the Mountaineers 15-2 on Saturday. The Sunday game, however, K-State propelled forward with 4 runs in the third inning and held a 4-1 lead until the bottom of the 8th, where the Mountaineers were able to make a second 4-run comeback to prevent the sweep. The Cats are back in Manhattan and busy this week as they face Nebraska tonight. They'll travel to Nebraska-Omaha tomorrow, and they will return to Manhattan to end the week with a series against Baylor. The Kansas State women's rugby team competed in Kansas City this weekend facing the Jazz. They put up a great fight but eventually succumbed to the Jazz. The KC team scored 3 tries in the first half and 2 in the second half, with the Jazz missing only 1 kick. It brought the ending score to 33-0. This was their last merit match, but the season is still not over. Our Wildcats still have to make it to attend regionals, where they are sure to face the Jazz at least one more time to battle it out for the chance to go to nationals. Another Sunflower Showdown last Saturday was a downer for K-State tennis. The number 35 Jayhawks picked up a quick doubles point, beating the Cats 2-0. In singles, the big story for K-State is freshman Millie Stretton outperforming KU's Nina Kamelnikaya. Beating her in 2 sets, Coach Steinberg was certainly happy about that. That's the only time the Cats had success, though, as Jayhawks Richagova, Koch, and Cardona all beat their Wildcat opponents in a crushing 2 sets. K-State's Navas versus KU's Hinton would go unfinished in their 4th set. The Cats lost the overall competition 4-2. K-State tennis will stay in town this week to host a doubleheader on Friday versus Southern Illinois at 9:30 a.m. and Oklahoma State at 3 p.m. And then they will end their season on Sunday playing OU in Mike Goss Tennis Stadium. And if you can't wait for K-State football season to start again, you can at least get a taste of it this Saturday at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. The spring game is set for 1:10 p.m. this Saturday. That's all I have for sports this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Don't go anywhere. We have one final look at your weather coming up next.
I'm a dog person.
I'm a sports fan.
An artist.
Working full-time.
I am the future. I am finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student. I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community. Progress. You.
Thanks for joining us at Channel 8 News.
That's all we have time for today.
We'll see you next week.
This is